do myself.
And you can't go down to the watch hospital and have them
Nope.
put in a new one.
Nope. And they say that it's supposed to last 7 to 12 years or something. Depends on how much you're using it.
Right.
You know, how much electricity. And then they just take the whole thing out, put a new one in, and they use the same wires.
Yeah.
So it's a quick lube.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Oil
something
change.
like that. Oil change. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Doing well.
Good Monday. Hey, let's talk about last week. Senator Gallegos came down. Did you guys hear about that?
I didn't. You did?
Yeah, he was down. Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention because I was feeling sorry for myself. But go ahead.
So I was invited by a mutual friend,
Okay.
the mayor of San Luis,
Oh,
to come to the town hall meeting. They asked me to come to a VIP that they had in Eddie. So I said, no, that's okay. I'd rather go to, if anything interested, would be the town hall. Because I want to see the community. Come down there. I want to see the community grassroots that they have, because I want to see what we're going to encounter this winter.
wonderful.
So I went down there. I was obviously the leader. Sat down. I looked for Lennon, Gloria Torres, the youth from the 2020, 2022
Sure.
ballot speakers.
Ooh.
None of them were there. I'm surprised. Could have been a room. A lot of groups were coming from Phoenix, Tucson, which is and then a few other groups. We were brought to the back before even Senator got there to discuss if we had any questions, to already put the questions in the net. The Senator teed up questions so he can hit it out.
So someone can give him the answers, you mean? But go ahead.
Yeah.
So while we were there, they were asking me, and I said, you know what? I much prefer to get my question off the response of the crowd. And what I meant that is because I want to see the questions that they're giving him, and his response for me to ask him a question off a response. And they said, hey, not a problem.
Oh, they did. Good.
When we were talking about that, he ended up walking up and he wanted to take pictures individually. I said, no, thank you. But then they put us in a picture group. So I took a picture as a group, stuck us in on the side. And then from there, when they started, I was sitting in the back. Then about the end is when he actually became Gallegos, correct?
Yeah.
At the beginning, he was just catering. It's a rural area. He knows you can't go woke because that's just not the type.
I was hoping he would.
Yeah, no, he did it. Until it ends when one of the ladies that lived in Gadsden, I know this lady, super Democrat. She's a DACA recipient. She stood up, asked a question. It was not a question that was right off their cell phone, and talked about DACA, talked about immigration reform. And I was actually surprised because the face he put was, he was up front. He's like, when I wasn't in office, we had the 3 executive powers, and DACA wasn't of interest. And I was surprised because he said his own party had a couple chances between Biden and Obama that his own party didn't focus on DACA or immigration reform. People were shocked, but I knew why he said it, because the next words in his mouth is because our party are choosing the same people over and over. It's about money-hungry policy.
He said that?
Not about people policy. Yeah, he literally said that.
Huh?
I was surprised. But because he ended up saying, if you elect me again, I will go there and fight for DACA and immigration policy.
Interesting.
Even Nancy Pelosi's come out. No, it was Clinton. Hillary Clinton has come out and said that the Biden administration wasn't doing the right thing, but Trump went too far to clean up. But it's not negative like that. But yeah, the Democrat Party's coming out now and acknowledging that that they let it go too bad, but they still think they need immigration reform bills because Trump goes too far. So I don't. They basically want open borders again, but not as open, maybe.
Correct.
Yeah.
So from that, I asked a question. I was like, so I have a question, Mr. Senator. Yeah. Regards to the lady I talked to, her name is Emmy. She was talking about DACA. She was talking about immigration reform. You know, it sounds like, you know, you just mentioned your party. Now, is your party willing to work with a bipartisan? Where has there been Republicans willing to step up on immigration reform policy?
What reform is
And he
necessary? But that's a great question.
Yeah. And he said, yes, but my party doesn't want to work with the opposition.
Well, he said yes and no in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, we do, but we won't.
exactly. So that was basically the end of the response that he had for me.
Yeah.
Quick and easy. But there were other questions talking about, he loved to mention his military service and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's where it triggered where he finally talked negative about Trump and the Republican Party. He
Why?
never mentioned Trump as a name. He mentioned as the current administration,
Right.
sending 2,000 people to
Minneapolis.
Oh yeah.
with AR-15. That's where he said, as a military, we don't do that. We do that overseas, not in.
They do that
American country.
every day.
Correct.
When we called the border patrol, the border patrol needed help. The people came in with AR-15s because that's their weapon of choice.
That is correct. So that was the whole time that he actually heard actually a direct shot was that about the administration and Trump, and that our administration won't be currently worrying about DACA or immigration reform currently.
He's he ran a campaign sounding like Ronald Reagan. He gets in and votes like Nancy Pelosi.
Correct. So this is where I noticed, obviously we know in the more woke areas like metropolitan Phoenix, Tucson, where his real base is, he's going to get woke as hell.
Yeah.
But here in the county, he wanted to see if it's the same people that he had before and what type of grassroots do they have. Right now, I can tell you, I'm learning a lot because it's not the same fascist people that we had before that we were dealing with, me and David Lyle. It's a new generation of kids, and I don't want to say kids, but 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds that are breaking in, especially the new sheriff for LD23. A gentleman, I want to say about 31, 32. And he's from Yuma, but he shares the whole LD23 county. That goes all the way to Pima, which is amazing because now Yuma is, depending party-wise, has the power and the movement. And right now they have two local Democratic candidates. They have one in Tucson, which is actually the tribe. It's the first time there's ever been a candidate for the TownHall.
Oh, good. Oh.
And then obviously the current elected seat in Phoenix. So it's going to be a nice little battle for them uphill.
So
the Republicans work together so we can take away this. Because it is midterms. We have to start hitting the Republicans independent and pull off these soft Democrats to make sure that the midterm is not how it goes.
Well, that's my question. Trump pulled in a lot of people, pulled in a lot of different nationalities. I mean, he increased in every category, every nationality, culture. Exactly. Do you think that is lasting? Are they disappointed, or are they embracing still the Trump movement?
Well, during this past 6 months that I've been kind of quiet, but I've been active, I can tell you a lot of people are mad.
About?
A lot of people, the ICE and how it's going,
okay.
But at the same time, they voted for that. Do you agree? They just didn't expect that they were going to have emotional response from these videos and memes, right? But
ICE hasn't changed. It's the same. It was the same under Obama. It was the same everywhere.
Correct.
It's just that
it's just being more
the image is
forecasted. Now the image is now that there's availability
because
social media, TikTok.
It's Trump's order instead of Obama's order, so now it's bad.
Yeah,
correct. But they say that the past 6 months or more, that the group called RAZE, RAZE, which is nothing but high school and college paid students, advocates who are out there and get people registered.
Uh-huh.
They're the ones passing out the information, updating them what the Democrats have been doing in a positive way, spin it, and the negative way versus the Republicans and the current administration.
Wow. Well,
So they're being very active, but very quiet.
a lot of Chinese
Alcohol
money
too.
out there doing that stuff.
That's correct, and more, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people like wouldn't go to that. To me, as a Republican, it's good. We call, we complain, we put social media, we email, but no, that senator's never going to see your face. You're not even going to get your message or email. So I went in person. I can see him right face to face. I even told him, "Hey, I'm a Republican. We're not going to agree, but I want to hear what you got."
And that's
And he
fair.
said, "Okay,"
That's good.
and that's fair.
And I got to give him kudos for that, for standing up to it, not running away
Yeah,
from it.
not run away.
Yeah. I mean, quite often, I've had them run away.
Mhm. How was
Sure.
the turnout? Were there a lot of people there?
To be honest, I want to say there's about 120 chairs, and out of those 120 chairs, about 40 of them was for the Gadsden our reaction band, and then 5 of them were for the Gadsden for court dance. So they're the ones that performed to open up the ceremony,
Uh-huh.
and then after that, they just filled it in at the end with a lot of people from Chicanos por la Causa
Oh,
that you could tell weren't from Yuma. These are people from out of town.
so they had to bust people in to fill up the chairs?
Correct. The only elected officials there, that's why we were invited in the back before anything ever started,
Yeah.
was just Vice Mayor Tenweave, Vice Mayor Somerton, because they're all going for re-election, the city council member from Yuma, the redhead woman,
Yeah. Yeah.
Carol.
and then there was another gentleman, which is the Democratic Party, ex-Judge Guerrero,
Oh.
and then me.
Yeah. So it wasn't a packed house, but that's not a bad deal
No,
to go
it was not.
to San Luis.
Now there was
Yeah,
a few ex-Republicans that were donors giving to the Democratic Party there from
Oh,
the higher ups from Yuma,
I mean, like
and then
you
that's
got
really about it. There was
you
no
got
one-
you got names?
no, I mean I got names, but I just don't.
All right, well, we'll talk later.
Out of
All right.
it's not my job to out them over it publicly,
Yeah.
but there wasn't. As of the normal faces that you see in San Luis,
Yeah.
they were not there.
And I would have gone. I wouldn't have hesitated to go. I wouldn't have given money.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I think it's
Yeah,
good. It's good that you went. I think it's great.
Yeah, well, that's how I found out.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not exact dates, but it'll be within 2 to 3 weeks. Senator Mark Kelly's coming here too to do the same thing.
Do you talk about the government shutdown and all? It's going to keep the government shutdown going because of ICE. Well, it doesn't stop ICE. ICE is already funded.
Yeah, he talked about ICE, but he said the way, don't look at us, Democrats are not doing bad. We're not funding ICE. We're just not funding the section that's going against the people. He said ICE is still there. They have X amount of millions, billions of dollars, and you see what they're doing with that money. They're buying warehouses for housing, and that's how he spent it. He just give them a little quick, and then that's it.
A lot of it's
people
not
in
true.
San Luis are uneducated, ignorant. He thinks, unfortunately, we are very educated.
But
you know what's going on.
ICE is in every state. And they're out there doing a lot of work. And we've had ICE agents from Yuma up in West Virginia for 2 weeks to do some big stings and all that. You only hear about in Minneapolis. You can't blame it on ICE because ICE is in every state. You only hear it in one. You hear it about Minneapolis. That's it.
Yeah. Like, let's see, about a week ago, give or take maybe 2, I went to the Yuma sector, donated 50 chicken filet.
Uh-huh.
John and Dana were blessing, and they came dropped it off with me. This Saturday, I went to Wilton with a friend to drop off as well chicken filet, and then me and my son drove all the way to El Centro, got in and out, and dropped it off at El Centro sector.
Where are you getting all these birds, man?
You're blessed.
Are you growing chickens now?
No, eat more chicken. No, because we can only do so much we can to say thank you.
Yeah.
In Phoenix, I got a couple groups writing thank you cards and taking it directly to the ICE sector, the processing. So, we can do our own on social media and post and stuff like that, but there's nothing direct than inviting someone for food after the government shutdown.
Yeah, it's only hurting a few. TSA, Secret Service. What else is there?
FEMA.
Correct.
FEMA. Yeah. We don't like FEMA anyway.
And Yuma County is a very close-knit group. regardless of the party, we take care of our own here. You know, we're close, and that's what's about.
We should, and I know ICE agents, and you know, they're part of our community, and you know, this high school walkout thing. You know, their kids were in those rooms.
Correct.
You know, saying we're going to go out and scream about ICE being hateful. I mean, it's just so misguided, and it's organized by evil factions. It's not. The kids wouldn't have done it on a Saturday, Gary. If it was Saturday morning, they say, hey, Saturday morning we're doing an ICE, no one would have come. They only did it because it's a big deal. We get to skip school. Hey, yeah. What was the reason again? Yeah, they don't care.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of stuff that normally a lot of people don't want to do, because it just, you need to understand what your opposition is doing. They can't do the same thing over and over. They are changing the matrix. And this is how me and David were able to catch these people in 2020 with ballot harvesting. If I was just like a regular general Republican that said, oh, I don't want to talk to the Democrats, or I don't want to know what the Democrats are doing, that is a wrong. You know, otherwise me and David wouldn't be able to catch these ballot harvesters on voting day, and was able to, you know, create the law at SCOTUS for Arizona for ballot harvesters. Harvesters is illegal. So you like to know what the Democrats are doing and who the new players are.
Well, I hope we find out. I hope more of them are caught, and I hope we pass the SAVE Act that clamps down on some of this. No driver's license. No, you know, we don't have that problem in Arizona, but a lot of places do, and it just gets to where you can't trust the integrity of the voters.
Correct. Well, I have trust in David Lotta right now being the county recorder, even though he's not in charge of elections, but you know, I trust him being where he's at as county recorder, especially for the housing and the deeds and stuff like that.
Right.
But you know, what time they'll come with the Save the Act, that's where going to be very important. And I'm sure they're going to ask David for some help, because that's a big beast right there, you know.
I trust him also, but I think we're the only two. I think that's it.
I could be jaded because he's a committeeman with me here in our
David's awesome.
Appreciate the call, Gary. Thank you.
I appreciate it. You guys have a good day.
You too,
man. Garcia Snyder. I didn't recognize the voice, but I know I thought it was him. I had to look up the phone number, make sure before I said. I wasn't sure it didn't identify himself. I didn't even know Gallegos was in town.
Yeah, I saw that he was coming.
I really don't like him.
I'm not a big fan.
I'm not a big fan because, you know, his campaign, he just lied about who he was. And I know there's a lot of people saying, well, all politicians do that. That's no big deal. Well, it is. It is to me. And this whole bit about, well, you can't close the border because we need, immigration reform. We need immigration reform, you know, or border patrol reform. And it's not true. It's all a lie. And Trump not only said it, but proved it. And they still say we need it. Comprehensive immigration.
Yeah.
For what reason? Tell me one.
It's always already laws on the books.
Exactly. Just enforce them.
Enforce the ones that we have.
You know, the immigration reform that they wanted to pass would have guaranteed a certain number every day gets through.
Right.
And it was just a stupid thing. And Mayorkas up there saying that borders are secure and closed and all that stuff.
Well,
I get like looking around saying, did you guys not all see this?
Yeah.
That this is just a bunch of nonsense and lies. And Gallegos is one of the worst. And I forget exactly what the subject matter was. I think it was like, had something to do with immigration and Trump. And I don't remember the exact question. But somebody mentioned, well, that's exactly what Obama did. And he says, I don't care.
Still needs to be fixed.
Trump's doing it. I don't care. I'll be right back.
Listen to KDLU.